Good day and welcome back. And another week of talking technical, and thank you for the requests. And by the way, thank you for those that subscribing to our services. We've gained a few speculation view members, and the reason why these guys wants to see if they can get the Aussie and the S&P 500 under their belt. Takes time to learn, but if you follow our signals, then definitely you will immediately see what is the chart telling you, and you can act upon that. Well, visit our website, of course, www.fransdeklerk.com for more info, especially on the speculation or the candle of the day, and even the maize or the currency view that we offer. So we offer various services, but let's kick off with the charts. The first one is British American Tobacco, and I'm looking at a weekly chart here. And remember, we know that the British American Tobacco is a beautiful rand hedge. And what do we see here? Every time that the share gets around 600 Rand, there is some shadow showing here. And remember, this is a weekly chart. And there's your 40-week moving average. So that's your long-term moving average. But these shadows are telling me something. These shadows telling me that at 600 Rand, there is a buyer. But what do? As always, we first put in our trend line. And we say to ourselves, well, although everybody is maybe positive on British American Tobacco, the trend is still solidly to the downside. But on the other hand, what we do is we see if we can find another support line, and there's a clear support line for you. And this chart suddenly looks very interesting. With a rand that is strong, that can easily weaken, and especially above 8 Rand, it can weaken a little bit. I see this falling wedge developing in British American Tobacco. And for me, it's quite easy. For the dividend, I like it because everybody talks about a 8% dividend, but the buy will only be above 6 Rand and 10 cents. My stop loss, of course, will be 590 Rand and 80 cents, and my targets to the top will be 613 Rand, 621 Rand, 627, and only above 633.30. We can see that the momentum can really kick up to the top, but at 633.30, the the falling wedge will play it out. But the big move will only come when 654.12, that resistance of the 40-day or 40-week moving average, turn into a support. Below that, unfortunately, the viewers or the investors will say, it's not a good buy for the long term. But I mean, this share has got a wonderful dividend. It's got loads of cash behind it, brilliant management. And of course, as a friend always tells me, if you're worried about British American Tobacco, don't worry. There's 100,000 Chinese that will start to smoke within a month or two. So maybe he's right. But at the moment, falling wedge, nice tight stop loss, target of 633.30, and above that 40-week moving average, we can really see a nice kick to the top. Let's do the next one, and that is Zeda. I mean, this share had a Zeda. I mean, this share had an ugly sell-off. I mean, when it got listed, it was around 18 Rand. And since then, there was just one way of selling. Zoop, you can just see it never picked up. And suddenly in this week, it got alive. And look at it. It bounced from 10 Rand. You can almost say from 10 Rand. And it's trading now at around 11 Rand 50 cents. That's a massive jump. And what I like about it, remember, this is a weekly chart. This is a strong bullish candle. And for me, there's the line. I'm going to use that top of that candle as my golden line in the sand. And if the share can close above 1122, that's the top of that shadow there, above 1122, this chart will eventually, after months, I mean, after almost a year, it starts to give some nice bounces here. I know Zeda is a favorite amongst some people, and some people hate it. And if you haven't got it in your portfolio above that 1122, it looks interesting. So if you want to buy it above 1122. I would prefer if it can maybe give us a little bit of a pullback, but this is a strong candle. But if you buy it above 1122, your stop loss is 1090, and my targets to the top, there you are, 1164 and 12 Rand 18, and oh boy, above 1226, we can say, and there you are. I just want to draw in that line, Above 12.26, you'll be saying to yourself, the momentum to the downside is in place, and we can see a beautiful rounding bottom then, and maybe a beautiful kick. I don't know if it will ever get back to 18 Rand, but at least the chart looks like nice moves to the downside. It looks like it's finding some buyers, and look at these dragonfly candles. Dragonfly candles are also a sign that there's some informed capital buying the share in a dip. Let's hope that they're right, because I know that Zeda Limited came out with a bang, but since then it went down with a bang. Let's have a look at transaction capital. And I discussed it a few weeks ago, and I said a friend of mine actually wants to build a tiny little bit of a pension fund position in that. And I said to him, listen, you must add up every time that it gives you a higher low. Well, if you look at this chart, look at this wonderful consolidation. And I know there's a lot of people that will say this company can actually go under. And they're quite right. Maybe things can go horribly wrong and the company can turn upside down and things can get very, very nasty. But for me, my friend, he's got a view on transaction capital. And there's a little line. I just want to show you. There you are. There's the resistance line. That resistance line waits at 7 Rand and 14 cents. But what do we see? Since the share found a little bit of a base, every week it tested a little bit of a lower level and then it bounced from there. So we see actually from here, we see all higher lows all the way, but we don't see a confirmation candle where you can maybe add up to. So what's the next strategy? Then you add up above 7 Rand 14. Where's your stop loss? Your stop loss will be 6.29. I'm going to use a tighter stop loss with this share if I need to buy it. 6 Rand 54. So for me, above 7.14, stop loss 6.54. And where's my targets? My targets will be 7.44, 8 Rand 20, and can you believe it, 8 Rand 24. And that's near my targets, because look at this ugly selling that took place when the news broke that this company is running into trouble. It fell from 27.79 all the way to 9 Rand almost in 1 week. So I don't say it's going to bounce, but what this chart is telling me, that there's something maybe on the boil here, and although all the news are bad and everybody is negative on it, it finds a little bit of a base. And always remember, while the share is above that little low of that little dragonfly candle, that's 536. Let's give you the exact level, 545. While we're above 545, the low of the recent moves are in place. And maybe, but maybe this share is going to surprise us all and stay above that, and maybe it can also give us a beautiful rounding bottom and maybe a nice move to the top in time to come. But as always, let us stick to our stop loss and don't burn our fingers. Let's have a look at another share, Harmony. Now, Harmony is one of those companies that everybody loves to buy, and the gold price is doing well. I just want to see where it's hiding now. Oops, I spelled it wrong. There you are, Harmony Gold. Let's see if we can quickly get that. Harmony. There you are, Harmony Gold. And that's a weekly chart. Oh yes, I can see that we did warn before on that. I only pick it up now. Lamp pole formation. It broke that trend line at 92.39. And I don't like this chart, although the gold price looks interesting. That is a level that I would like to watch. That's just above the 40-week moving average. And there you are. If it can come back and it goes below 73 Rand 44, we can see this 40-week moving average suddenly gets tested. And hopefully we're wrong, because what do we see then? We see a sell-off. We see a nice bounce. And below that, we'll see another lower low. And unfortunately, below this 40-week moving average, we've seen what happens in the past. When that turns into a resistance, Harmony, although the gold price looks okay and the rand can weaken, it can maybe come in under more pressure. So just be a little bit nervous, but let's watch our level of this 40-week moving average, because that's the golden rule here. Below 40-week moving average, Harmony Gold will unfortunately look a little bit not too good for me. Well, thank you for watching the show. Visit our website www.fransdeklerk.com for more info, and we will chat again.